Okay, it's been far too long. I haven't streamed in forever. I hope this camera doesn't run out of battery and die. It's plugged in, but I'm never sure. So, finally getting around to building Sangeo. Sangeo65. 65, right? Yeah. Socials. Let's see. It's been so long since I've even bothered streaming that I will look real quick and see if I can post anywhere. I forget who has users. What? Sneak peek, marketplace, rules, reactions. I want to say some of these places used to have. Huh. Some of these places I know don't. Oh, Lost Stacks is live. Cool. They still have self-promotion at any of these places? I don't even know. I've stopped streaming for work and stuff, and now I'm just like lost. Sounds normal. I probably say this every single time I like get busy, then don't stream. But it's true. I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. It's okay though. As long as I can build a keyboard, that's all that matters, I think. Social media promo, I can probably spam it here. This counts as social media, I do think. I don't know. I definitely do need to get my hair cut, that's for sure. My hair looks ass. I honestly haven't cared. I just go to work, come home. Go to work, come home. I don't think these guys have anything. I don't think these guys have anything. I actually don't know what places still have. I don't know. I guess I'm just gonna have to scroll and then just spam things. Self-promo. Sure. Not like it matters. I've even forgotten what I look like. Sound test. No. Other hobby streamers. So I don't think that's right. This place, I don't think so. Not that place, not this place, not that guy, not these people. Ooh. Okay, so some news from Cruel World. I'm in that group. Bye. DSS rep factory shut down for 2.5 month delay and their backlog of work in projects. Oh, cool. Nice. So it looks like it's only going to be a minimal delay for Cruel World 88, which will be nice. I think that's going to be a pretty nice board, which is why I got it. I don't know if any place has like places that actually allow spamming your socials for builds and stuff. Maybe this is why you partner with people, I don't know. So honestly, I kind of don't care. I don't want to do that. Rather be free and not have to worry about things. Not like anyone really cares. Not like anyone really knows. But I have been thinking about making videos talking about the way things sound and things like that. I don't really know. It'll be a thing. I guess I can spam KFA. I'm sure they wouldn't mind. At least they haven't yelled at me before, but I haven't streamed in like a month, so. I like KFA. I think if I did anything with anyone, I wouldn't mind it be KFA. It's one of those things though that if I put myself out there as being sponsored by someone, that sort of feels weird whenever I, talk about their stuff. I don't know. It just feels strange. Off topic. No. Oh yeah, they do have a salt promo here. So one thing that has changed is Monoke no longer has an actual forum section. It's mostly just people checking in what they're doing. Feels weird. I wonder if I can get away with putting it on Monstargears server, since it's a Monstargears board. I haven't read this because for the most part, their stuff is pretty open-ended. They have a Sangeo65 hot swap. Crazy. No, I'm good. And then I always spam Zeos' server because Zeos' server. Promote yourself. It's been a while. I made it into his forever chat. Kind of interesting. Kind of weird. It's Zeos. Zeus hasn't really changed that much. Let me make sure that this message is working. Build. Yeah, it's working. Cool. Alright. So first things first. Let me get this board off my desk. I'll put it away in a piece in case. And I'll break out the PCB and start testing and building. So for a while I was bothering to wrap everything up, but honestly it's probably fine. It's the purple case, that's in my mind all that really matters. And the heater's still on because it's still cold, I guess. I don't even know. Anyways, this will probably go back on my desk. I did bring the Sangeo60 to work today, just to remind me why I like that board so much, and I still really like that board. So I am excited to build the Sangeo65. Anyways, here's the board in question. Still in the case. I unboxed it once to take a quick look at it, but I didn't actually take everything out and test it. So let's do that. Green plate. We got the cute shark stickers. I'll probably have to give those to my daughter. My daughter really liked the other ones. I had to buy more, and shipping from Korea for stickers is kind of dumb, so let's not do that. I will economically dole these out to my daughter when she's being good. I got extra gaskets, always fun, and we have foam. Did I get a second plate, or did I get 2 PCBs? Looks like I got 2 PCBs. Cool. Alright, they're both the same thing. They both have the same date and SKU code. Case foam, plate foam. I think I built my 60 with plate foam, so I'll probably build it with plate foam yet again. I only need one of these. Probably not going to use this. In theory, I should only need one set of gaskets as well. Put it back for now. Alright. Next, the board. I can put that to the side. Take it out of the case. Still all bubble wrapped and everything. I did take it out and look at it. I got the green one. Just because I don't have a green board. So, why not, you know? It opens from here. Duh. A lovely green color. Took a look at it before. There's one anno hook mark up here. That's it. It's on the inside. We have the gold colored weight, and I think this thing looks great. I'll put it to the side. I don't really know what to do with this foam. Just throw it there for now. Strap the case back together. And moving on. Alright. So, the DZ60 PCB. Pretty standard stuff. Or DZ65, sorry. This is the 65. I'm still thinking I'm building a 60 for whatever reason. Where's my VIA button? Ah, still works. Excellent. Let's plug it in. Make sure it shows up. There we go. 67 V2. Do I like this setup? I will need to change this one. Where's my layers button? Mo1. Back to basic. Level 2. And I always have this as arrows. Oh, there I have arrows there. Excellent. Nothing further needs to be done. Eventually I'll do media keys or something over here. Cool. Yeah, I will not have that as being caps lock. In theory, I should put a caps lock somewhere on this. Somewhere. I never know where. In theory, I guess I can put it up here. It's big enough, I'll forget about it. I'll turn caps lock on and I'll freak out. That's probably what will happen. Key tester. Test matrix and sounds. So I do believe this is a standard 65 case with no frills to it. It's got the little blocker down here and that's about it. So it's been a while since I built a keyboard. Got pretty busy at work, so didn't really have time. Didn't want to stress out, so I just didn't. But I have this board I want to build. I have a Space 80, which I'm looking forward to building. So maybe I'll get to that next week. I don't know. But I have a little bit of a backlog to go through. Oh, another thing I actually am looking forward to building is the CL. The Bakeneko 60 with a weight. That looks pretty neat. Then by the end of the month, I'll probably think about buying one more board. Yet another one board, you know. Ugh. Go away. That totally took me on my train of thought. I will be thinking about getting the Aster TKL, because that looks pretty neat. Okay, so one thing is missing here, and that's because it has a blocker. Is there layout? ANSI default mods. I think this is 1.25U. I think this is the correct layout. So the spacebar is standard. It's not split. I'm not doing that nonsense. Right shift is automatically split in this layout. Let me just double check this real quick for sanity. Okay. I think that's correct for the layout. All right. So this is here. Unplug it. It works. Excellent. Excellent. If it didn't work, I have a second PCB. But it's always good when the first one works. Oh, I didn't clear the stuff off. All right. So you're going to go down here. I did get a table finally. That's nice to have. Means I can move stuff around a little bit more freely. Move this over here. And we have the trusty silicone soldering mat. And I'm dropping washers everywhere because of course I just have washers on this thing. Why do I have washers on this thing? What was I doing? What am I doing? Perennial questions. So stabs. Oh, I guess I can take that off the screen. I have stabies. I like stabies. They're good. I have lubed them up with XHT BDZ. They should go on here well. And of course they don't have things marked out, so I don't know what exactly I should be putting it in. So that implies that I should get, not that. I guess I can put this over here. I should take the plate out. Let's have a quick look-see at the plate. It's green, just like the case. I like it. So I think it goes on the outside too here, and one of these metal switches. Does that appear to be about right? Yeah, it appears to be about right. Cool. So I think this is the right size driver. These are V1 stabies, so they had the super flexible silicone. I've decided not to use those. What happened to the washer? The washer just flew off. I literally don't know what happened to it. Well, at least I have extra here. I've replaced it with the regular cheap fiberboard washers because I find those less obtrusive when you're trying to figure out if it's a stab issue, if you yourself have a skill issue with stabs. So I've elected just to use a fiberboard washer. It just seems easier to me. So in other news, I guess I'm going to try to slow down on buying keyboards because I'm going to run out of space pretty quickly. But I might also decide to open up like build service at some point. I don't know who would want me to build their keyboard, but I'm sure somebody's desperate enough for me to build their keyboard and stream it. It seems like a fun activity. I don't really know how I feel about it. But if it keeps me from buying more keyboards and then not having space to put keyboards, might not be the worst idea. Anyways, enough of me complaining. keep on going with the build. So I did test these stabs out. They shouldn't rattle. They should be fine. If anything comes up, I can always plug the butt, since I think I only put a little bit extra on the space bar. So that's cool. There we go. Fit in the hole, please. Okay. Nice. Oh no, come on. I always think this is not the right size bit, but there's like a little bit too much anno or paint or whatever's on the screw that just gives it that little bit of interference if it's loose. I don't know how to describe it. Maybe it's a metric size and I need to get some other bits or something, I don't know. Just using the Wea bits. But yeah, 4 stabs in total. This one's not too bad. This also means I have a crap ton of extra stabies, parts, and stabs now, because the kits I were buying were all 5-piece kits, so I guess I'll just have extras from now forevermore. Not the worst thing to have. Eventually I'll build an Alice board. The Aster Ergo TKL, by the way, has caught my eye as being something really pretty. I'm still sort of hesitant. I want to hear a sound test on it before I actually commit to something like that. But it seems like a very nice board nonetheless. Slight bit of regret not jumping in on the Simo TKL. And if it's anything like that sound-wise, I think I'd actually really, really like it. It looks pretty. If I had the option, I probably would think about getting it with cat indicator, just because it's sort of a trademark of Bomb Studio. Uh-oh. Also looking forward to getting a crap ton of TX stabs in the mail at some point. I hadn't checked on Mekubo recently, but I know Popcorn had made the post that they should be out by the end of this month of April. That'd be cool. Be good for the next, well, 10 or so builds that I would need them for. As long as they're out before Toma, I'll be happy though. Alright. Move that back over there. I've actually been jonesing to do a build for quite a little bit, and I'm glad I'm finally getting to do a build. It's been a month, man. Not that I need to have a new keyboard, I really wanted to build one. So now that I finally have time, jumping on the opportunity. This weekend, hopefully I also have time to lube the next set of switches, which are, I think, GAT Oil Kings for the Space 80 build. So, but here I've lubed and filmed and spring swapped SP Star Polaris gray switches. And instead of having a BCP on the spacebar, because I didn't do it on my original Sangeo60, the Sangeo65 will also just feature just these switches. So it's a thing. I'm trying to be consistent. Well, come on up. I know I have extra foam in case something happens with this, but I'd have to like walk across my basement and find it. I don't want to do that. Alright. So I'm pretty sure I built this, my first one, my 60 with foam. So I'll build the 65 with plate foam, but no case foam. Because I really like the sound and feel of my 60, so I guess I want to replicate it as much as possible. That's one thing I forgot about. I don't have a keyboard, so I will not try to do that, but I'm not sure if Moto 2 Mist has that space, or that caps lock or not. I forget. Honestly, I forget. Anyways. Time to put switches in. I've checked most of these switches to try to make sure that they're straight, but there's always going to be one or two that are just not, so. Alright, get that first one in. Align it with the foam. And these 3-pin will fit very snugly in here. Nice. Okay. So I shouldn't need to hold it. That's a good sign. Alright, let me get the corners in, then we'll go from there. Alright, make sure it's actually clipped in. No, the film's interfering with that clip, but it's in. Make sure I see pins. Yep, see pins. Alright. Off to the races we go. I guess at some point I'll actually have to open up the Moto 2 box and see if it has that or not. If it has steps caps, that would be cool. If it doesn't, you know, whatever. I can deal with full caps. I prefer step caps in my builds, but I can deal. Thought something was falling over. Luckily it hasn't, so on we go. This green plate does look nice. I'm not actually sure if the colors of Moto 2 Mist will work well with this green on the keyboard, but whatever. I might still see if I can pick up a copy of Hammerhead, because I think Hammerhead would be probably what most people are doing. I just wanted to be slightly different. I don't know why. It's probably a bad idea to be too different, but it is what it is. Oh, that's starting to get interference with the foam. That's why it's getting so hard to put in. Uh-oh. Come on out. Come on out. Okay, is that good? That looks good. The foam's starting to warp, so I guess it is a little bit on the tight side. That should be okay though. Still looks okay. I usually don't build keyboards with plate foam, so it is a bit different. Nope, that one's just not fitting right. Why? Alright, let me put this one to the side just in case. I guess I'll skip it and see if I can get the next one in. This one has like no foam around it, so I should have no issue. Of course, that one just slots in there, no issue. Same with that one. So is it a switch issue? Did this not have it close all the way? No, it's definitely closed all the way. I don't know. I'll leave it to the side and I'll figure it out later. Or maybe never, who knows. I was able to clip that switch in. I don't know. Hey. That was a violent clip-in. Sure I didn't bend a pin. Okay, we're good. Alright. I have to hold it up off the back because the pins and everything will stick through. And it'll make life a little bit harder if things get bent. So, in the air we continue to operate. I just need to make sure that it's actually in against the plate, clipped in all the way. And the legs are through and secure, so it's all flat and we should be good. I cannot actually check by looking down like I usually would. I guess I can look at the switch height and orientation, stuff like that, to make sure there's no gap when I'm done putting in a row. But usually if you don't have foam, plate foam, you can get a little bit of an idea by looking at the gap between the plate itself and the PCB, and just sort of look down the line. You're looking first to make sure that there's no gap between the top and bottom of the switch lips that are clipping in and the plate. And you can also look to make sure that the switches are actually flush against the PCB as well. So you do want things making contact. Is that? Yeah, that's there. As someone that doesn't usually build with plate foam, this is different for me. Usually things are just a little bit easier to put in and so on and so forth. So, you know, this isn't that bad. I'm hearing it clip in, but it's very weak clip noise action. That's okay. It'll be okay. And I know this will all be worth it then because, again, I brought my lovely Sangeo65 to work, and it was just as nice as I remembered it. I have other boards, I have nicer boards in theory, but I still just like it. Alright. I'll need to see what goes in there. I will do that when I'm done putting switches into here. So there seems to be some, I guess, either size or alignment issue with this side of everything. I don't know. I'm not quite sure what the issue is. Looks like I need to push the foam up in some of these areas, and then I can get it to actually clip in pretty firm. Okay, that's not so bad. Apologies for the furnace going off in the background. Apparently it's still cold outside, so that's still turning on. So I have spring swapped these switches as well as lubed and filmed using Desky Films 205 grade 0, just a light coat on the stem. I think that's all it's really needed for these switches. They feel pretty nice. And the springs I swapped out to TX long 50 grams. I found that I like lighter springs. My fingers, as an old person, are just too frail and weak, so I just keep going lighter and lighter. It's a weird thing. Okay. Well, pushing the foam up in the middle actually helped things to clip in a lot easier. So I guess I should have been doing that from the beginning. Lesson learned. And I'll forget by the time I build another board with plate foam. Anyways. I will not have to hold this down at all. Everything is super tight in there. So, I'm not worried in the least. Huh. I'll probably have to buy a few more switches at some point. Now, this is the second board I would have built with Polaris Grays. The first one was a 60, this is a 65 board. So I just need a few more and then I can just do another like 60 board or something with more Polaris Grays. Or I guess I could lube film and then sell extras for switches if I really wanted to. I have been thinking about selling things on the KFA marketplace. I do think that's a good way to support both KFA and I guess sell stuff that you don't need anymore, because I've been stockpiling things and I really need to just get rid of stuff eventually. It's a thing that I do. Anyways, if I did that, now that I think they're going to start switching over to a 2% fee if you're going PayPal, and I'll probably do that. I had been holding off because I honestly didn't feel good with not being charged anything for their services. They're a small business. I know they only have like 3 full-time employees, so I don't want to take advantage of them. I want them to succeed. So rather than flood it like a lot of people have done, although that's probably good for their visibility, it's just something that I felt a little awkward doing. Why is this not clipping in all the way? Nope, another weird switch. If you're not going to play nice, you're not going to be in the build. Make sure it's not me first. Push the foam around a little bit. Yeah, that just clips in nicely. So I guess there's just a few of them with either housing side or tolerance issues that I'll just have to double check later on. They'll probably go in my growing pile on my other workbench of switches that are just slightly damaged or warped or wonky and that I'll never use. They can join that pile. That's fine. I am actually really looking forward to getting this build done and taking it to work tomorrow. Not that anyone at my work knows anything about keyboards or who cares. I get a kick out of it. It's for me. It's not for them. All right. There's only one place to put these switches, so that makes things easy. Alright, I never remember what hold the spacebar goes in. I think it's the rightmost one. I'll have to check. My brain's not quite working tonight. I am down on sleep, not as much as my wife. Because we had 2 sick babies, she's been definitely working more hours than she should being mom. But unfortunately, you don't really get time off as mom. Yeah. SB Star Nut. Yes, exactly. Especially these. In this build, they should be pretty good. I'm hoping I can recreate the same magic that's in Sangeo60. If it does sound that good, I'll be super happy about it. Almost done. Then I need to see if my kit has step caps and bring the spacebar out because I'm dumb and I never remember what hole it goes into. Alright. Moto 2 Mist. Rip aftermarket. Where's my knife? Canis K packaging. No one likes you. No one likes you. Alright. So we have a step caps. Cool. I can put that in now so I don't forget about it. That's a slight improvement over the Sangeo60 then, because I don't think that even had the plate option for step caps. So, cool. Alright, and then we're stuck with 625 use spacebar. And where are the holes for this? Aftermarket price for Moto 2. I bought this as an extra. So I guess technically, not the worst pricing. Because originally I didn't plan on buying Mist, but then I decided to buy it for this. Let me put this on because, again, brain is not working. Is this the middle one? That's the middle one, okay. I would have guessed wrong. Kitting is very rough, but happy you enjoy. I mean, I basically bought it because I decided to buy the Sangeo65, and I'm like, oh, sure, because I thought, you know, the easy thing would be to go with GMK Hammerhead or Hammerhead Dark, and then I'm like, you know, whatever. Again, this hobby's not one that really makes sense if you're that worried about it. Okay. Put this away before anything happens to me. And have some tea. I'll be honest, the kitting for that is pretty meh, but, you know, what am I going to do about it? I guess I could have bought it when it was a group buy, but honestly, I wasn't planning on buying it, so it was one of those decisions in the moment. I'm like, why not? Throw those over there. I'll file those away later with the rest of my other supplies. We have the soldering mat. We've already tested it. Do I want to bother testing the stabs again? Alright, I probably should do that before I make a decision I regret. I did test it on my Swag Keys tester that I took these off of, but out of good principle, I will do it again. Shift, enter. And full backspace. Alright, let me take my headphones off. I really need a haircut. My hair is really bugging me, but I like need to take a day off and get my hair cut or something. All right. Nothing of an issue heard. Should be good. And stabies are easy to tune. Let's just put it that way. And yes, I am of the opinion that if we can get stabs like that, may as well. It makes life just that much more easier. Do have TX. If I didn't have TX or these, I'd have Duroc V2, or I could just fall back on all the cherry clip-ins that I have. But as long as you have decent enough stabs, at this point, as long as you're not using, random things you're finding in the cheapest boards ever, you're probably fine. And even then, you can still do things to make it sound alright. But generally, I do agree with the memers of our community, Shubes and Glarses, as being kind of a skill issue if you can't get it right after so much attempts, lube, and everything else. So before I get to soldering, I'm just checking to make sure I don't have any bent pins. And one more check down the line, making sure nothing's sticking up or way below. Sorry, bumped the mic. This one was slightly wonky at the end. If anything's out of profile, it usually is pretty easy and jumps out at the human eye. The human eye is pretty good at seeing minor differences, so just a quick check. Oh, this cord got cut on this, huh? Interesting. Have the Hako exhaust fan I'll bring up here. Have my soldering iron station here. I need the solder. Let's get the tip tinner. Always good to have tip tinner out. And just because sometimes I get dumb and I forget I have one attached to this station. Okay. I will turn on Crisp. Hopefully Crisp is working tonight. I did update it, but you never know. So Crisp should be enabled now. You can still sort of hear that, but in theory you don't hear that fan. I just sound like I'm literally underwater. Turning on the soldering station. Fire up the old Hako 951, and we'll get to soldering. Should be a pretty easy, pretty quick build. I don't anticipate anything going weird. I think if anything, I'll probably actually have to spend time fitting on the gaskets and making sure. That's definitely why I bought more of those. I had issues last time making it just right, and the soldering iron's already warm. It's been a month since use, so I will fully clean and tin the tip. And we'll use this one. Putting a heavy bit on here, letting it burn off, and then stabbing. First, I don't have the magnetic surface to put that on. How's the KFE holding up compared to other TKLs? I really like my KFE. The 4-degree typing angle is very nice to use. I tend to try to bring that into my office more than other keyboards. I like it that much. I don't have any issues with it. I think it's an excellent keyboard. That being said, at home, I still will have my IU on my desk because I just love the way that thing feels and sounds and looks. Uh, the KFE is very nice. I want to build my Space 80 because originally I had that. I have GMK Hennessy for a Stormtrooper build for that one. And I just need to finish moving switches now for that and doing stabs, and then I'll hopefully get around to that next week. I'm looking forward to that board too. I'm thinking I will try to do the no foam approach for that board. I'll actually have to see what that's like though. I definitely don't want PE foam because I mean I have the Glacier 80, and that's definitely going to need the PE foam with all the flex cuts in that board. So, all right, soldering should go fairly quickly. I don't actually have to press and do too much checking with this board. It sort of is. I am going to tack the four corners in, good practice for boards, and then I'll get probably a middle column. And then after the middle column, I will just go to the rest of the board. Everything's flowing nicely. The DZ60 and 65 PCBs are fairly standardized. Not too much in the ways of crazy features or frills on it. It's pretty standard board. Solderability is pretty good on these boards, so you don't really have to worry about too much on it. So I'm just going to do the middle row. Make sure nothing walks or goes anywhere or does anything weird. I already tacked in the four corners, so we should be good anyways, but just doubling down on being cautious, just because. These solder pads are fairly large, so it's not like I'm struggling to solder or do anything with it. And the solder mask, although I never thought KBD fans boards had the cleanest solder mask. It does a fine job of rejecting solder and being decent. You have to be a little bit careful up at the top. Make sure you don't get anything you're not supposed to get. All right, we're good. We're good. Well, it feels good building a keyboard again. It's literally been a month since my last build. Feels weird to say. But I need to start building stuff again. One, for my sanity, so I have something to do and feel like I'm doing stuff and having fun doing it. And two, so I don't just have an infinite backlog of boards just chilling in my basement on board, because that made me sad. And eventually I will look at trying to either sell or get rid of boards. My friends are kind of saturated with boards right now, or at least the ones that wanted to try a custom mechanical keyboard. So I'll probably, oh God, is that a bent pin? That's a bent pin. I looked for that and I still missed it. Are you kidding me? All right, on the floor you go. Hopefully I didn't miss any more. That'd be kind of dumb. Hold on. Clip in there, switch. You're good. You're good. All right, it's good. A little bit of persuading. It's in. We're good. Moving on. I don't know if they're ever going to do another round of KFEs, but if they did, and you're ever curious, I would highly recommend it. It's a nice TKL. Some might say it's a little bit outdated, but it's a good top mount. It really is. The Jane CE version, the version 2 CE Jane plate is well understood. It's nicely implemented. I can't say much more than that. I actually do really like that board. But again, speaking of other nice TKLs that I'm interested in, before the end of the month, if I hear a sound test for it, I'll probably like it and jump on it. That Aster Ergo TKL, looking mighty fine. If you want to hear it though, if it does sound like an Ergo version of the CMO, I will definitely jump on that. Low-key regret not being able to get on that buy. It is what it is. But now that they have PayPal and apparently that's working for Bomb Studio, it's good stuff. Other things coming up keyboard-wise for myself. Finally got a shipping notice for Neo 87 TKL from Cherry B. Looking forward to that one. That was an interesting Vietnamese design. Aside from a little bit of scuffness in the finish, I think people actually do like that one. I think most of the complaints, especially for the people that bought the more expensive brass units, were scuffs on especially the large bottom side, which feels bad, but I think that's all the more reason why you don't buy this sort of boards. Although I totally didn't do that. Cable Car Designs Phoenix. I did buy the big brass bottom on that one because it just looked too delicious. I know a lot of people were looking at the screw holes and just saying it's too off center. I can't deal with it, but it's on the bottom side of the board. It'll be okay. And then as far as any other boards, I mean, I've sort of looked at, I'm at the point of saturation now with having my own boards and not knowing where I'm going to put them. So I think I'm going to try to slow down. But that does mean I'll probably end up opening up build service at some point. So I guess if people want to see me build stuff for them, I'll have to figure out how to advertise or do any of that. Not even sure who would want me to build stuff because I'm so inconsistent and slow, but I'll force myself to write a contract so it's definite terms and I know what I'm doing and they know what I'm doing. And we'll go from there. One step at a time. Let me finish this board and enjoy it. Step caps. Yes. I'll be honest. When I first saw that Sangeo65 was announced, I thought, oh, I'm not going to buy that. I have the 60, and I really like the 60. And then everyone's like, oh, 65 is so much better. I actually don't like 65s. They, I don't know. I like win keyless 60s nowadays, I think. That's another board I actually bought recently was Spectacle 60. Or just Spectacle, I forget what it's called. But I got a polycarbonate top. It had that nice sort of swooshy side design to it. And I looked at that and said, sure, why not? Polycarbonate seems like the right price. Why not? A little bit of impulsive buy, but you know. What about this hobby is not an impulsive buy half the time? It's a luxury hobby. It's not really something that I want to put too much thought into. Just, you know, have a hobby. All right, moving right along with this build. Things are going well so far. Only missed that one switch. Not a big deal. That's what it is. I'm still really happy with this tri-blend new tactic. I'll have to buy more of it. So I originally thought about going fully lead-free and picking up a quad eutectic solder that I had found, but I don't know. This tri-eutectic is just so nice, so easy to work with. Hmm. All right. Nearly done. All right. Let's do a quick solder inspection. I am just shifting it in the light, making sure I have the nice little volcano around it. That's on the pin and the pad. Nothing looks like it's a disturbed solder joint or a cold solder joint. Everything looks nice and shiny. Everything looks like it's going to be good. Okay. I think we're good. Let me turn this off. This off. This. And let's turn off the weird sounding crisp. I should now sound like a normal human again. If I don't, apologies. And let's bring up Via. And let's show Via on the screen. And let's test and see what happens. All right, we're good. Just put this over here. I will put the fan away later. Need to clean up the PCB a little bit. Grab one piece of paper towel. And I believe I've refilled these since the last time I did anything. Ignore the lube. Okay. PE foam tip applicators. Drink some tea while I'm at it. Okay. And let's just try to clean up some of the residue on here, because there's flux, and it's always good to clean up flux off the back of the board. Make sure that you don't have any issues longevity-wise or corrosion-wise on the back of your board due to flux. Flux is pretty nasty stuff for the most part, so especially burned residue. Best to clear that off as best you can. Doesn't have to be perfect, but at least I will always do my best to at least give it a once over. Just using 99 or 90 something percent isopropyl alcohol. I forget what I bought in bulk. It should still be a greater than 95%, so we're good to go there. Safe to use on the back of electronic components. I am using PE foam tip applicators because I don't like having to clear off lint from the back of PCBs from using regular Q-tips. And since these are ESD safe and made for this purpose, I just will use these. It's easy. Too easy. It's what I'm familiar with seeing anyways, so. One. A lot of time people at work say they could never pass, some of the soldering courses because their hands are too unsteady. I don't know. I think they're just nervous. I think they'd be fine if they actually had to certify and do a course. Soldering is not that difficult. If you know how to do it and you take your time, it's not the worst. If you have to do like super tiny SMD stuff with a regular soldering iron that has a super blunt tip and it's just awful, like a lot of courses have you do in sort of workshop classes for the practicals, sure, it might be very difficult. But at least then, when you're really looking at it, you're also looking at your workmanship and being able to grade and say what's wrong with it and how you might be able to fix it. As long as you have that little bit of knowledge as well, good to go. For the most part. I mean, a lot of the people that were talking about it, they're no longer operators. They just would have to be able to audit and know what's going on. And arguably, since they already know what's going on, it's like they don't really need the course, but, it's always good to show people that you still are up on certifications. Anyways, soldering, pretty easy. It's a good skill to have. If anyone's new to the hobby, watch a few soldering videos. Art of Repair have really good sort of descriptive ways of saying why certain things are important. Louis Rossman, another good person, a fellow New Yorker, he goes over in detail some of the soldering equipment and do's and don'ts for new people especially. A lot of the budget stuff too, as well as being an interesting internet personality, because he has a personality. I'll give him that. Boring stuff is almost done. I'm about halfway through this board. Then I'll move the stuff off of the desk and we'll bring the case over to unscrew it, take another look at it, install the gaskets, then finish up the build, do a typing test, and then I can go to sleep. Because sleep is always nice. If I did get rid of any boards, I'm thinking about it. I think it would be my 2 through-hole Alice and Arisu style board. As nice as the Sangeo looks, I probably will never actually use it. And as much as I did enjoy building the SK Ergo, I will never actually use it. If I did sell those, it would be fully built, so it's definitely going to take a hit on the price side. It'll probably be maybe stock price for the switches and everything. Maybe. I don't know if anyone actually wants to buy a THT board fully assembled. That seems to be a weird thing, unless you're trying to flex on friends that are gullible and think that you can solder when you don't even have a soldering iron. Anyways, I'll have to consider that later. Other boards, I'd have to put the disclaimer on it since I didn't love the board, but the Neo Element G67. I did the best I can with that board, but I still just never liked it. Also, 65%, so if I can get rid of some of these 65% that I don't like, that'd be really good. Because I kind of still don't like 65%. Call me weird, whatever. I prefer TKLs. I have the desk space at home. I have the desk space at work. I like the way TKLs look. I'm most familiar with them, let's say. What else can I get rid of? VAS 60 round 1. I thought it was the VAS 60 round 2 when I first bought it, but apparently it was a round 1 extra from forever ago. It's a good board, except I won't use it. I just have other boards that I'd rather use. I find when I'm bringing 60s to work, if it's not just one to have as a backup in my backpack, like Keeps for All, Freebird 60, I'll usually have either the Sangeo 60 or my key round 2. I really like the key. Thinking about getting a whole bunch of different O-rings for that and doing like a sound test thing like I did with IU, but I don't know. I kind of just like it as it is. I don't really feel like opening it up again. It's just nice. I still just like it. I don't feel the need to do other things to it. I don't know. Maybe that's weird. Maybe I'm just getting complacent with it, but I think I do like it. I don't know. Words I would look at changing though. Theris 75. I think there's more I can do with that. I just don't know what. I'd actually have to pick it up again, hear it, type on it. Some people had reported, I think, the period or some key double registering sometimes or not registering other times. I would probably want to see if I can induce that fault or if I have that fault. I haven't really typed on it in a while, so I just don't recall having that issue the last time. I probably would have ripped it apart before then. Anyways, yeah. Other boards I would look at again. I thought about taking my Sangeo 60 apart actually, because I think I still have stab pads on that. So some of the mods feel a little bit weird and mushy still, and don't sound as clean as they should. I was considering desoldering that and then rebuilding it. I had kind of hoped I could find a wing keyless top for that, but that's actually harder to find than most things for some reason. Alright, done cleaning up the board. It's clean enough. Not perfect, but good enough. Okay, put the lube away. I even have a trash can right there. Oh, nice. Alright. Switch this out. Okay. How is this arranged so precariously like this? Alright, I'll just put that to the side so I don't have to mess with it again. And that back over there. Cool. Alright. So this hardware are okay. I'll need to change the bit out, and there it is here. So I still use the set of WIA drivers. Let's see, what size are these? Is this right? This is probably good, right? Let's double check real quick. Yes, those will work. I'm gonna leave this one out. I find I use that one more than any other bit. Before I get too far into it though, let me put the feet on the bottom. I do generally only use this at work and home. with the desk mat. However, sometimes I put it on a table at work because there's different conference rooms with and without padding. So this way I don't scuff the board or damage that conference room table. People really like that thing, I guess. I don't know. All right. Hiding over here is this little alchemy tray. I will try to put the screws in here. Oh, this is on there super tight. I remember something similar with the Sangeo65 that for some reason the hardware is on there super tight. It's like squeaky tight. Alright, this is long enough. Yes. Excellent. Okay. One. What are you doing? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This little alchemy tray, by the way, is very nice. I got mine in the McFlurry finish. No regrets there. Lovely thing. I don't think I bothered trying to take the weight off, but when I was tapping at it, I didn't think anything would be bad with it. In theory, if this does have any undesired effects, I don't think it will. It's in there super tight. I will actually just put pieces of tape, probably on the four corners right around the screws, and do like a mini force break on it, is the idea. Alright, so I had contemplated putting the gaskets directly on the plate this time, because I think I had to put them in here the last time and it was just ever so slightly a pain in my ass. By ever so slightly I mean like it was just a pain in the ass. Huh. Well, if I was to do it this time, I will do it the right way. I'll have to get my tweezers back out. These pour-on foam gaskets are nice and plushy. I'll basically just be pushing them through the bottom and letting them stay on the sheet. Only need 4 for this. Four, and it looks like a half over there. Interesting. And now no one's favorite part of gasket, putting gaskets in without misaligning or ruining anything. But this is definitely one trick that I've learned is instead of pulling gaskets off, basically just push them through so they stay on the paper, and that way they don't stretch or malform. then just straight down on. Alright, and this is like, what, half? Scissors. I have scissors. Not that I'm actually prepared, but I just happen to have scissors here. It's about half. Alright. And then this top half shouldn't need to cut anything in half or do anything too goofy. Let's keep going. It's this corner, right? Yeah, this corner. This will get the other half. Not sure if that actually matters, but there's enough strips that I probably should just put a full one up there. Alright, let's take it off before it adheres too well. Alright, garbage you go, half. Sorry. You're a good half, it's okay. Sorry if I'm not talking quite as much. Just concentrating on putting gaskets on. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. we just have these strips that are not malformed. Excellent. Or hopefully they're not. Alright, let's take them off the paper carefully. Pick and place carefully, and they should do just fine. How close is that? That should still be okay, actually. If I have any issue closing it, it'll be because of that one. Alright, can I get you back up? Or are you on? You're gonna be stretched, okay. We'll deal with you. We'll deal with you. Perfect world would not have overstretched this, and it would be just fine, but not perfect. Worst case, I will replace this gasket because I did buy extra gaskets. But moving on. All right, almost there, almost there. The relaxing piano music, I think, does help. that's all the gaskets. Excellent. Let's throw it together, see what happens. Let's see. USB. Blocker. Oh. Man, it's under so much compression. Okay. Yeah. Flip it over. I'll need to probably smash the corners together to make sure it's good. And then, actually, what's this doing? You do not want to sit in your USB cutout. What's wrong? You do. You do want to sit in there. You just need to be compressed, I guess, huh? So I guess I'll be getting this corner first. Cool, good stuff. Alright, opposite corner. Opposite corner. Ugh, come on. This is a tight fit, but it should be okay. And this corner. Alright, it's flat. I don't have to worry about this one as much. Alright. Let me back this one out a little bit. And retighten. Should be fine. Alright, let me get the middle hardware in. Drop in there. There we go. And the last one. All right. And now the caps. I've already forgotten what this layout should look like. Let me plug it back in so Via can just show me what I got. So I'll need to open this one up. Have F. G. Oh, come on. And step caps. All right. Do I need these mods? I can't remember. I don't remember anything. Let's try it with the green. I am going to need this shift, now I think about it. Arguably, why you get a 65, the arrows. Honestly, I'm still not convinced that arrows are the best thing to have, but whatever. Alright, so we need row 3 end, which I think is here. Page down. I think this one is the right profile. Page up. That's going to be this profile. I think this one works. And then home. No, not that profile. Oh boy. So do I have the right profile for that? I don't know. I don't know. I could just go, hey, 4Hypno, how's it going, man? Long time no see. Mostly because I haven't been streaming, I suppose. Is this the right profile for that? I might just put that there. And then the tall boy home goes up here. I think I can just put delete here. That should be the right profile, page up, whatever. I guess I could put a function button here. What else could I put here? What is the right profile? End? I have end down here. I'd have two ends. Oh well. Give up for now. I'm over the Alice board. I think I'm going to sell it and build myself a TKL or something. Just don't like the layout. Yeah, Alice is... I don't know. I like Alice for what it is, but it's sort of hit or miss. It's not the best layout. It's interesting. I definitely want a good Alice board at some point, but yeah. At the end of the day, I usually find myself gravitating back towards TKLs, if I'm being perfectly honest. I joke that I don't like 65%, even though I've been building a lot of 65% recently. But yeah. Yeah, I remember you built the MGA. I was actually pretty impressed with that. But recently I've been looking at the Aster Ergo TKL. You know, 65%. A lot of people like 65%. It's very easy to live with this form factor. It has basically what you need, you know? And generally I do think it's a very good layout. I just really like 60s more. Everyone says arrow keys, but this button right here, it's not really caps lock. I have it for MO1, and I use WASD for my arrow keys. Arrow keys is all you need. Well, if you only need the arrow keys, then yeah, go for it. Honestly, I think 65s are probably the way to go. If you need arrow keys and you don't want to take up too much space on your desk. Other than that, I really like TKLs still. 65s that I can recommend. So there's a cheaper one, cheaper-ish, called the Sequence coming out. That was the Portal 65% without the weight on the back. Let me pull my Portal out real quick for you. Oh man, too much stuff piled up. I got a link. I do not actually have a link for it at the moment. But this is from Parallel Limited. If you do search Parallel Limited, it should show their page. This is the board in question. It's a gummy O-ring mount. It's pretty lively sounding. I think it sounds pretty good though. Enter can sound a little bit hollow, but the original Portal has this pretty nice weight on the back. It's metal. I do like the weight on the back, but the Sequence basically doesn't have that weight, and that's the only difference. But it is quite a bit cheaper. And if you're looking for a board just to try out 65s, I think even though it doesn't have the weight, it would still have decent holding of value per se. So if you wanted to trade it up later, it might not be a bad option if that's still on sale. Other 65s. I built this one recently too. Let me take this one out. This was Block 67. They're going to be having a round 2 of it sometime soon. It's pretty much the same thing, except this is definitely a budget version. They're in stock. Nice. This one is even more hollow and lively sounding, but this is also a gummy O-ring mount, and I think it's quite good. It is cheaper. The chamfers you can sort of feel. It doesn't have the nice rounded feel on it, but yeah. If I had to recommend one, I would definitely recommend going with Parallel Limited. I've been happy with their board. The Portal 65, I definitely think is a banger of a board. And I think the Sequence will be too. Their quality has been pretty good from what I've seen. I haven't had or heard any complaints about that, so yeah. But those would be 2 boards on the affordable side that, you know, I could recommend. And then this, my little clacky Sangeo65 here. It's a little bit higher price, but honestly I think it's going to be pretty good. Best place to sell a board. If you want to sell it quickly, probably Mech Market. If you want to be more experimental, there's also Keeps for All. They have a new place to sell as well. A bit higher price than affordable. You could look for a Portal 65. You might be able to pick up a Portal 65 at a decent price. It's well regarded enough that it'll probably be slightly higher than retail, but at the same time it's not astronomically high. It's definitely an appreciated board, but it's not crazy. Whereas if you wanted to pick up, I don't think they have these in stock anymore, but the Sangeo65s, yeah. There's also, if you wanted, again, if you just wanted to try out a 65, you could always do the Bakaneka 65. A lot of people basically tell people to get that first if they don't know. But if you're into keyboards already and you like this sort of thing, I can say the Sangeo65 is going to be on the higher pitch side. So yeah, if you already sort of know your preference, what you want. Oh, I don't know why it's opening that up. Oh, it's looking for key maps and stuff. Oops, yikes. Yeah, but what was I saying? If you're into sort of a higher pitch sound, I'd actually recommend this board. It's interesting. 60 was my favorite, but I was missing the arrows, which annoyed me. Yeah. Like a nice deep sound. Yeah, so I would probably recommend Portal 65 as being the current board that I like. The marble effect, you can get that with PE foam sheets, if I'm being honest. If you want it to come out naturally, I would recommend Gummy O-ring mount. You can usually get a deeper sound. It's not going to sound marbly like a PE foam sheet though. But if you're looking for a PE foam sheet, I mean, there's tons of boards now that will have similar PE foam sheets and sounds to it. It definitely has a sound profile. It's definitely a look, you know? But for me, I guess I'm going the opposite way for some of my boards. I just need variety. Some endgame 65s out there. I don't even know what I would consider endgame anymore. I usually don't look at 65s. I know number 265 from Keycap is something that a lot of people cite as being one of the best sounding and feeling 65s. I haven't tried it, so I can't really say, but that's always, Keycap's always been held in high regard, you know? If you were to say something was endgame, a lot of people would immediately default to them. 3K aftermarket, yeah, it's, if you were to win a buy slot for that when they're actually having it as a sale item, I think it would be like $950 or something like that. But it's definitely on the pricier side, and it is what it is, you know. And there's also a number 3 that should be coming out sometime this year for Keycap. It has a controversial looking side, but I think it might actually be quite nice. But, you know, reserve my judgment for hearing more reviewers, because right now the pictures just look kind of nutty. Let me do a quick... Do I really stand by these parallel boards? Yeah, I do. I really like my Portal. If I had to have 165, unless this one really blows me away, which it might, just because it's a different sound signature. Yeah. Okay, sorry, just doing a quick test now that that's off my screen. Let me start getting monkey type up. But yeah, I genuinely really do like Parallel Limited. I think they're a good company. I like their boards. Let me take a look at their website right now. Now I have a keyboard plugged in, I can type. So let's take a quick look at Sequence. So as you look at the back of it, where is it? Monkey type. Is this it? Yeah, you can see at least part of my screen here. So I really don't want to build another board. Rip. You can see it doesn't have the weight on the back of it, but it still is basically like the same board, format, size. Just reading down through it. 65% custom mechanical keyboard using Gasket, gummy O-ring, gummy worm mounting system, minimal design features, corners, so on and so forth. It comes with the 35A O-ring, which is pretty good. I did like that one. It has the weird scuff feet and haichu if you need a sugar rush. I mean, but scrolling down here, it has the same PCB as the one for the Portal 65. Same with the plate. I think it's the exact same plate. It's a good gummy O-ring mount. Haichu, I'm sold. Yeah, every now and then you just need that little extra sugar boost, you know. I don't know. I would like to see if they'd have another Portal run, because Portal, like, I don't know. I really liked it. Yeah. But yeah, that board was, scrolling back, $340. And then you could get extra codes and other stuff. $340. So you picture, I guess, the cost with the finish that I got was like, what, an extra $100 or so dollars? I forget what the sequence is. Going on in the background, so like 200, yeah. So a decent bit more, but not too much more. Also, with the way these things are machined, because it's a solid back piece rather than a possibly recessed back piece for the drop through weight, it definitely is less machining in time too. So honestly, I think this is probably a fair price for this sort of board. And that being said, I don't think this would feel cheap either. So if you look here in the pictures, you can definitely see the edges have detail on them too, where it's actually a nice rounded edge and feel. The inside would still have the nice tight fillet, so it's a decent finish on the board. I would expect this to be another good board to have if you were looking for a decent 65%. So that's my opinion. I like parallel boards. I would stand by them. I honestly like them. So, and if you wanted a clackier sounding board, probably going to recommend this after I type on it. But first, let me change the mic configuration and make it so you don't hear me moving stuff around. So let me mute the setup, and then I'll be right back. Okay, we're on the mic setup down here. Whenever the furnace stops, I will attempt a typing test. Fair notice, I'm tired, and this is whatever it is. Don't save that. Make sure crisp is not active. Nope, okay, we're good. And on this mic, it shouldn't matter anyways. Just waiting for the furnace to stop. Guess I'll change this bit out. I don't think I'm going to need to get back in this board. If I did, I will do it on my own time. Tomorrow. Alright. Tea, so good. You have to get more screw trays. I really like this. It only really makes sense, I guess, if you build too many keyboards, but yeah. So I do have another one coming in sometime from Hibby that I'm actually looking forward to. You're the Tiger one. That'll be interesting. Alright. Let me stop. Put the headphones down. Alright, prepared to type. Mouse clicks keyboard level. My typing has gotten slower. Yeah. I'll bring out my Sangeo, my Sangeo65 in a minute. I want to do another one. I don't think I'm going to be faster, but, you know, whatever. Mouse clicks again, keyboard level. Ooh. Let's redo that. Okay, I give up on typing. Let me pull another board out real quick. The Sangeo60. So the Sangeo60 is the little brother of this new keyboard. Definitely has a stab pad. It sounds bad. Sangeo60 is definitely higher pitched. This is nice and creamy sounding though, and sort of a little bit lower, but still higher pitched. Interesting. So it's not exactly the same sound with the same switch. I guess it is a bigger plate, so it would make sense that it's not exactly the same. let's compare to the Portal. So one difference with the Portal, this has EPBT on it, and this is GMK. If you like marbly, this is definitely more marbly sounding. This has that more the upstroke sort of, I guess, higher pitch sound that I was going for. This has that pronounced downstroke marbliness to it with the gummy O-ring. I do like this board a lot, and I think if I had to choose between the two, I would still like this board. It has more going for it. This board is interesting, but I honestly think I like the Sangeo60 better. So, now that's my thoughts on it. And don't want to bring out any more keyboards. Not really. I need to get going to bed. Finish cleaning up. But yeah, Portal, beautiful weight on it. I guess I'll turn this over too, just for completion. And Sangeo65 has that nice shark on the back. So yeah, those are two interesting 65 boards. Overall fit and finish, this board is definitely interesting. So wait, what's the shark one? This is the Sangeo60. The build command should work for you. It's what I just built. Here's Sangeo65. And again, you know, it's a nice board. I like it. But I was going for, I guess, the higher pitch, super high pitch sound that my Sangeo60 is. This is close, it's just not as high pitched. Yeah. Any questions? Anything else? I guess I didn't do mods. Yep, so that's my thoughts on the board. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for coming back, man. Nice seeing you again. Hopefully things going well for you. And yeah, have a good night. I need to get my hair cut and go to sleep. Go to sleep first, and then maybe haircut some other day. Catch you later.